Hi everybody, this is Methyl Kaiju here, and today I'm going to talk about some new, well, I guess it's about 4 days old. Wait. Yeah, 3 days old news, in which I didn't cover yet because for some reasons I didn't cover it yet, but there's a new sculpture. You haven't seen the sculpture, then just look at it. I'll just put this article. It has pictures of it as a link in the description below where you can see the pictures. And anyways, is this Godzilla 2014 new recent Godzilla 2014 sculpture real or fake? Now, I knew this information on the 22nd, but it got released on Godzilla Movie News on the 23rd. Because, they actually teased it. So, that's why I knew about it earlier. And most people knew about it earlier. But, is this new Godzilla 2014 sculpture real or fake, just like I mentioned? Let me think about it. It's fake. It's fake. It's completely fake. It's fake. There's a bunch of people who actually thought that this was actually official and that Godzilla 2014 was actually going to fight a monster with the tentacles, and everybody was thinking it was Biollante, and then there was all these crazy mayhem all over the place. I bet there was even a magazine saying that Godzilla 2014 enemy is gonna be Biollante. I bet, most likely, right? I guess, you can never say never. I'm trying to be like Justin Bieber, just saying. But everybody just got crazy over it, and wow. This all turned out to be fake, guys. If you believe this still, it's fake, okay? It's fake. I'm not trying to bust your bubble, but it's fake. This is actually fan sculpture made by somebody called Ernie Galvez. I'm not going to put these pictures out here because I didn't got permission from him. So, you can just see it as a thumbnail or this article I'm reading from Godzilla Movie News actually has the pictures. And, you can see them, so I'm going to put this article as a link in the description below where you can see these pretty awesome pictures. They actually look very awesome. They do look pretty awesome. And, okay, I'm going to read here. So, this is actually from the 23rd, I'm just saying, so it's going to talk about a little about the Godzilla Awakening stuff, but, from the past. But anyways, following yesterday's exciting news of Godzilla Awakening comic book, which is set for May 7th release, we also learned that the film distribution company, Kraken, was also going to be re-releasing 3 classic Godzilla movies on Blu-ray in the US. On top of that, I was also asked if I would feature one fan piece of artwork on our site. So last night I teased today's okay, that's part of their site. Okay, anyways, many of the fans on our Facebook page guessed correct. This was one of many photos taken by Ernie Galvez, a talented sculptor who has created a modern edition of what the next generation Godzilla and Biollante will look like if we were to see a similar remake to the classic Godzilla vs. Biollante. Now readers of this site will know now that we like to feature incredible pieces of fan art work from time to time. And this one, I couldn't pass up. The craftsmanship and level of detail is astonishing and really makes for a nice piece. The size, sorry if I said that incorrect, the size scale of Godzilla and Biollante is right on par from what we know of the classic versions. The model set features a battle-damaged Godzilla caught in a struggle with a hulking plant infused with Godzilla DNA. Biollante, and thanks to Ernie Galvez, we have a ton of great photos to share with you. So scroll down to view them all, and be sure to visit Ernie's website to view more of his artwork and help support his future ventures. And then we see, I can predict, and from what I can see here, it's more than 10 pictures, okay? More than 10 pictures. And finally, what it says right here, this is one of a kind piece. Only one has been made. When I asked Ernie if he was planning to sell it, he said initially it was not his intention, but for a high enough bid, he certainly consider it. Ernie hopes to someday work in a creature effects department and work on movies like Godzilla, or at least create models like this for a living. I also suggested a new model idea he can work on later, which you won't find in NECA or Sideshow, and that's a Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover piece. He said he'll certainly think about it, so keep an eye for that if and when he begins working on it. Special thanks to Ernie Galvez for sharing this with us, and we wish him all the best on his path towards working on the creature effects department. Let us know what you think of his sculpture by commenting below. And also, I have that question for you guys as well. What do you think of the sculpture? If you haven't seen it yet, then there's going to be a link in the description below where you can see the pictures. And if you already saw them, then what do you think of the sculpture? Is it cool? Is it not too great? Is it, you know, a decent one? What do you think about it? In my opinion, it's a very cool one. The only problem I have is the Biollante. The Biollante kind of looks kind of strange compared to the real Biollante. I mean, I know this is supposed to be a modern rendition of Biollante, but the face and the face structure, it looks like it's a T-Rex, like a literally T-Rex with vines. And it's green. That's all it looks like. I mean, I'm not trying to be, you know, mean on it, but for me it looks like a T-Rex with the vines and just green, in my opinion. And also, you know, the face looks like a T-Rex, as I said, because in one of the pictures it actually shows Biollante's face on this sculpture, and it looks super similar to Godzilla's face, like completely similar. It doesn't look like the crocodile, like, you know, the original one. It looks like literally Godzilla's face, like, you know, hunched over looking. You know how it looks like. It looks very similar to that. Very similar to that. Another problem is that I actually had another. Oh yeah, the spikes in the back. I mean, if you know, Biollante has some little back spines in its back, but they're like short and they're like fuzzy looking and they're like plants. Here he also did that, but except it literally looks like Godzilla's spikes. Like, they look like bone, or I'm not sure what exactly his spikes are made of, but they look exactly like, you know, hard, white looking. You know, it looked like that. It didn't look like, you know, the fuzzy greenish of that the original one had. It looked like, you know, the spikes from literally Godzilla, and they look a little bit more pointy. And I didn't like that too much. I liked, you know, the little original ones that are small and, you know, they are kind of like plant looking for it can be more realistic looking. But I guess those are nitpicks, I guess you could say. But, you know, those are the only problems that I have. But overall, if I actually, you know, if that gets in the way, if that doesn't get in the way, then it's a very awesome sculpture. And certainly I will fail doing that. I don't even know how to, you know, make a sculpture at all. It'll look very bad if I actually do one. But anyways, about the, you know, the whole real fake, it's fake, definitely fake. So sorry to bust your bubbles, all people who thought this was real. This is fake, okay? This is fake. Now the thing is, it's not Ernie Galvez's fault for, you know, making all these people believe on, you know, this could be official. It was somebody else. Somebody just looked at the internet. Oh look, it's a cool sculpture. I'm just going to post this on Facebook or Twitter. I'm not sure where it was at. And then just say it's official. And then everybody was believing on it. So it's not Ernie Galvez's fault. It's somebody else who got this picture, posted on Facebook or, you know, something like that. I'm not sure which one it is exactly. And then they just said it was official sculpt. And actually it didn't show the Biollante. There was actually this one picture that actually showed Godzilla 314. But it looks like he was strangled in some, like, vines. And, you know, he was getting, like, tortured. And then you can see, like, blood on his arm. But you can see the monster. So then, you know, he decided to use that picture for it can be more realistic looking, like if it was real. Then everybody believed on it, and then this whole mayhem, and, you know. But this turned out fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's completely fake. It's completely fake. But it's not Ernie Galvez's fault. As I said, it's somebody else's fault. But it's not Ernie Galvez's fault. And this article even mentions that it's fan sculpture. And I don't believe, like, the reason why I say it's fake, because there's not going to be any Toho monsters. No Toho monsters, okay? No Toho monsters at all. There won't be any Toho monsters. You know, I know there's a big, you know, talk about, if there's going to be any Toho monsters, just go ahead and look at my video, and I say if there's going to be a Toho monsters or not. And if you already watched that video, you know what the answer is. You know what the answer is. You know what the answer is. So yeah, it's not Godzilla movie news that made me think this was fake. It's just, my own understanding. Because, there's not going to be any Toho monsters. No Toho monsters. But overall, this sculpture is actually very nice. So yeah, it said this is fake. This is fake. It's not literally an official Godzilla 2014 sculpture that was made by Legendary and Warner Brothers. It's fake. It's fake. But overall, the sculpture is nice. But anyways, this is the end for this video. I'm going to subscribe and comment. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys information if this was real or not. And if you were one of the believers that who thought this was actually real, well, it's fake. It's fake. Sorry to mention that, but it's fake. But anyways, this is Kaiju, signing out.